You got questions, we've got answers. Just ask Kenan.
What's going on, everyone? Kenan here, and it is yet again time for another Ask Kamp Kenan question. Today's question, I have right here. I have a list of questions, but today's question is from Mandy Prestine, and she says she has an adult female sulcata tortoise, and she's looking to get it a friend. Now, her question is, should she get it another adult sulcata, or can she get a smaller one, or perhaps an animal that is a different species, like a desert tortoise, because she lives in Phoenix, Arizona? So I am now going to get to the question, and well, as usual, there's a little bit of explanation, and it also ties in to another question in that I am frequently asked when I'm at reptile shows, and there's a dog over there. It's just going to drive me crazy because he's going to bark while I'm talking. That's why I don't really like dogs. I mean, I like dogs, but I don't have dogs because they bark. They're yappy. Anyway, what am I talking about now? Where am I going? What am I talking about? All right, yeah, we're talking about sulcata tortoises, which you guys can see right here. And these guys here are just sunbathing and hanging out and doing their thing. Some of the girls right there. It's been egg-laying season, so we're seeing some of the remnants of nests and burrows that have been dug to deposit the eggs on these females' shells. But you'll notice they're quite large. So the first thing I want to talk about is, yeah, you should really get your tortoise, Mandy, something that is of the same size, because as you know, sulcatas can become aggressive and they can bully smaller tortoises. So that's very, very important. And in fact, when I'm at reptile shows, I get asked all the time, Kenan, should I get one or two tortoises? And I always say, listen, I'm not trying to give you more than you can handle, but you should seriously consider buying two of the same species of tortoise, because a couple reasons. First reason is you'll wind up having animals that are going to be growing at the same rate, which is good, because now Mandy is going to have the challenge of finding an affordable female or adult sulcata that is going to be able to be housed together so they don't beat each other up. And it's a little bit more difficult to do. It's easier to raise them up together. As you can see, these tortoises are all of the same size. They're similar size, so we don't have a lot of dominance issues. Plus, I also have them in a large outdoor enclosure, which gives them space to roam. Every once in a while, I do wind up getting some, some combat here. Some over anxious male or overly aggressive male will combat and even sometimes ram into the females. But by and large, it's a peaceful colony. That's why I don't add or subtract to it. I just leave it as it is on this size property that they've been on for now 14 years, because they're very balanced and very happy. Now, when you get a tortoise, I do recommend getting two at the same time, because not only will they grow up together, the fact is you're going to love them so much. You're going to just enjoy raising them up and having a bit of a family, if you will. And the other thing I like to do, or I notice about tortoises, is you're only going to get part of their behavior if they're alone, right? If you have tortoises that are growing up together, you get to see a more full range of their behaviors. You get to see breeding behavior. You get to see communication, by head bobs, sniffing, smelling. And the simple question, or the simple answer I also like to talk about, folks, I also like to say in my pitch when I'm explaining that to folks, I just don't want to go through life alone. So why would an animal? You know what I mean? If you can get two animals of the same species, that would be fantastic. I would not get a different species of tortoise because, as we know, and certainly not a desert tortoise, tortoises can carry diseases that can be lethal to other tortoises that are not immune to them. For example, desert tortoises and gopher tortoises here in the United States actually have the mycoplasma, the upper respiratory problems that can come out when they're stressed. So you don't want that to get into any of the tortoises that you may be keeping at home that do not have that mycoplasma. Now, mycoplasma is not necessarily a death sentence for tortoises, but if the animal is immunocompromised, it definitely could become a problem and can become lethal through secondary infections like pneumonia and other respiratory problems. So I would not ever mix tortoise species. I would keep them separate unless you knew they were both captive bred, and that in that case, it definitely lessens the problem that you may arise with cross-contamination. I hope that's answered your questions. We've wandered all the way around the sulcata enclosure, and now we're back here at the females, and I'm going to sign off, and I'll be talking to you again on another Ask Kamp Kenan question. Hope that helped, Mandy. I picked yours. See that? Thanks so much. And if you guys don't mind, go on over to patreon.com/CampKenan, become a Patreon supporter. You can get a question asked live here on the channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and head on over to the Kamp Kenan Army channel and subscribe there as well. All right, everyone, I'll talk to you real soon. So long.